So my name is Alex MacDonald, and I am the chief economist at NASA. And what that means is I get to spend a lot of my time thinking about how do we develop economic systems in space, and how do we ensure that our investments in space benefit our economy terrestrially. And that includes everything from thinking about how venture capitalists are investing in new companies in space, how the economic impacts of space exploration are distributed throughout the country and throughout the world, and how do we figure out how we're going to build new homes in space as a global society. We currently have one home in space, the International Space Station, but our hope is that we're going to have other new homes on other new places as well, hopefully in the not too distant future on the moon. So public-private partnerships are important for a number of reasons. And to understand why, it's important to look at the two key elements there, public and private. The public interest is really what NASA is here to serve. We're here to ensure that we advance technology that's beneficial to the nation. We advance science so that we uncover new fundamental realities about our cosmos and about our planet. And as a result, NASA has a very significant budget provided for by the US Congress in order to achieve these objectives. But there are also other entities that have the same ambitions, the same motivations, and other motivations too. Some individuals are incredibly motivated to explore space, to figure out how we can see humans go to new places. And sometimes a partnership between NASA and these individuals or the organizations that they fund really results in new innovations. It allows our investments to go farther. It allows sometimes for more sustainable economic activities, because the private sector also often has a profit motive as well. And so what we've learned over the last couple of decades at NASA is that by engaging in types of public-private partnerships, we're able to create new capabilities that we weren't able to before. We're able to encourage the emerging space sector to see new investments, and we're able to, frankly, create new launch vehicle capabilities that have the potential to reduce the cost in the near future in very, very significant ways. So it's an important new strategy that we're adopting at NASA. So reusability is deeply important in two ways. There is economic sustainability, and then there is the actual environmental sustainability of the orbital environment in space. In order for space exploration to be kind of more economically sustainable, it's important to have really low-cost access to space. This allows for businesses to be able to be more sustainable. There's more certainty in the costs of running that business. On the other hand, there is a sometimes complex relationship with the sustainability of the orbital environment. Because in space, when you put something in orbit around the Earth, depending on where you put it, it stays there for a very, very long time, potentially for hundreds of years. And so we do have to think about problems like space debris. We have to think about how many satellites are up in low Earth orbit and how we're managing that. And as the cost of space exploration has come down, there are actually more and more satellites going up into space. And this creates a challenge. And we're going to have to think about how we manage this as a global society, because no one nation is in charge of space. Space is inherently a global environment. It has elements of global commons, and we really need to think together as a whole world, as a whole community of international nations, how we're going to manage the increased amount of economic activity that we think we're going to see in space. And most importantly, we need to ensure that we maintain space as an environment for peaceful uses and activities. There are trends that suggest that that is something that is going to be a challenge to maintain. But it is deeply important that we do maintain that for our terrestrial safety, and peace, as well as for the future of humanity in space. The benefit for humankind of space exploration is tremendous. There are different ways to look at it. You can think about the economic benefits. You can think about the way in which space exploration allowed us to develop global communication satellites that allow us to communicate around the world. You can think about the way that space exploration allowed for the development of global positioning satellites, which we now all rely on for our driving and for our taxis. These technologies are a result of humankind's ambitions to travel into the cosmos. But we also get scientific benefits. We find new fundamental realities about the nature of the universe, how old the universe is. We continue to search for signs of life in the cosmos, a great quest that has motivated humans in astronomy and space exploration for hundreds and hundreds of years. But for me, perhaps most importantly, I think one of the great benefits of space exploration for humankind is the new experiences that we get. The ability to look back on the Earth from around the moon and to see Earth as a shining marble in a dark, dark heavens, and to know that we all together are all living on that marble. That is our neighborhood. That realization is something I think is deeply important to thinking about how we can live together as a peaceful global society, how we can maybe not take forward into the future some of the mistakes of the past. And fundamentally, I think space exploration gives us hope for a version of ourselves, a version of humanity that can ultimately go into the cosmos, explore other planets, and explore the galaxy forever. So life, liberty, and the pursuit of the future is a wonderful theme, and it's a theme that NASA also embodies. NASA searches for signs of life in the cosmos. NASA also seeks to extend human life to other worlds. The concept of liberty is a fascinating one and an inspiring one. And of course, perhaps one of the most significant liberties that we can think of is a liberty from gravity, an ability to leave planet Earth and to experience new things in the cosmos. And finally, the pursuit of the future is something that NASA holds very deeply. We believe that better futures are possible. We believe it is our responsibility to build those better futures and to think even about futures for humanity on other planets. It's a big concept, and it's one of the ones that NASA is very proud to take forward. I would just like to add that it is a real great honor to be here at World Expo. I've never been to a World Expo, but it's been a long-standing dream of mine to be here at one. Because World Expos really do represent one of, I think, the finest ideas that humans have, which is that we should gather together internationally, people from all over the world, to share the things that inspire us, to share our great works of art and culture, and to meet each other and to hopefully learn a little bit about each other so that we can learn to live in peace with each other and ultimately to go explore the cosmos together.